Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. If you're new here and you just see me for the first time, welcome. My name is Janny, and of course I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm doing this DIY channel where you find seasonal decor and daily decor. If you like this content and you're not subscribed to my channel, of course I will hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. For more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find the links you need for our DIY channel. So enough talking, let's jump into our DIY. And here you see what we will use for this DIY. We need of course our tumbling tile blocks, some paint at your choice. You can use a glue gun, but I am going to use my wood glue. I have here of course my little bundle with some brushes, some markers, some scissors, and some little tool for cutting wire. And of course I have my little saucer with some old piece of kitchen towel, and he is wet, so we can wipe away the wood glue we don't need. So these are the main things we need for this DIY. So we are going to start with the bottom, the top and the middle shelves. We're going to make an open closet. So what we're going to do, we're going to take 4 blocks and I'm going to glue them sideways and this way. And later on I will try to tell you how you can make it with the smaller blocks, but then I first have to work with this one, and then I can tell you how the next one will be. This is one, and this is already a block which is much smaller, so I'm going to do for another one. In every package I have think a block of 5, 6, which are not totally the straight measurement. I don't know why that always is, but someone told me how much I have in the package. In the package I have I think 4 or 5 blocks, but always keep them and later on you can use them in another DIY, because we don't throw things away. It's always a waste of money if you throw things away. This is already the first of 4, of the second of 4, and now we're going to do the last for the bottom, and this one, and a number 3, and number 4 will be the closure upper again, and again squeeze it and press it down and this way, and we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So I did let it dry in for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to place 2 of them on the side. I'm going to do some glue over here on this 4, place it down, and on this one again, on all the blocks the same, place it down and squeeze them together. Now you already have the bottom of our closet. So this will be one, and I'm going to make now the middle shelf, and this one will be again 4 blocks of 4. I will only do this one, and then you can do the rest of course a little faster. And I'm going to close this up with number 4, squeeze it and press it down, and like this. Now we're going to again for 4 blocks, and number 2 and number 3. And if you maybe made already one of the dressers of the drawers that I made, of course I hope if you are in the in the possibility, just maybe you can send a picture out of it, because I would love to see how yours turned out. Of course you don't have to do it, but it would be nice if you could send a picture to our email address. That would be amazing. But of course if you don't want to, it's also fine too, but we are always loving to learn from someone else. So if you don't mind and you like it, then of course I hope you will send us a picture. So this way again, I'm going to let this rest in for a couple of minutes again. So again, I waited a couple of minutes. I lay this one aside. I'm going to do some glue over here and on the same over here. And we're going to glue this together again, the same like we did with the bottom. And again, squeeze it and press it together. Now we already have the bottom, the top, and I will do the 2 in between shelves a little bit faster, but they are the same like this one. So in a moment you have 4 pieces of 12 blocks, because this is 4, 4, 4, and then you have 4 pieces of it. And you see already I have 4 pieces of our the bottom, the top, and the 2 middle shelves. And of course, for you, everyone who uses the bigger blocks, of course, this is, like I said, pieces of 12. You see already like this. Later on, don't worry, I will tell you, at least I'm going to try to tell you what you must use with you for the smaller blocks. But for this one, we are going to lay it beside. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to take another placemat. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the back side of our closet. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get 9 blocks for the bigger blocks, because I heard from someone that the blocks were a little bit more expensive with you, because here in the Netherlands I buy the bigger blocks for $2.95. And of course the smaller blocks are a little bit more expensive, because I have to order them online, the smaller blocks, and they are, I think, $3.50 if I'm correctly. It's a little bit if they are in sale or not. So that's a strange thing, but I think a lot of you can buy the smaller blocks with Dollar Tree for $1.25 if I'm correctly, and that's much cheaper than we can buy them here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course we make 2 rows of 9, and again, and in this part we will be coming towards a couple of the blocks which are not correctly, but we just do them beside and use them later. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to row them also again together, just like we did with the other one, and this way, and this, and this one, and this one, and the last one, and we are going to squeeze them just this way together and make one straight line. And again, try to get them as even as you can, because that's really important. And press it down, and this way. You see already, this one is bending. That most of the time means that one of the blocks is not totally straight, so I have to look for this one. I don't know if you can see it this way, because you can see he's not totally in a straight line. So I better can get another block, because I want to that my closet is fitting right. So I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to place them together this way, and I'm going to get the other one. And this will be our back side of our closet, will be in 3 parts. And this will be part 1. And then there will be part 2 and 3. And the same over here. And now this one. And we're going to row them together again and squeeze them. And this way. And of course you can still redo them when you, because they need a lot of drying. So you still can, after a while you still can redo it and make a new straight line, because sometimes it goes out of line. And this way, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to glue them together. So you see both parts I let dry in for a couple of minutes. I'm carefully going to place it on the sides. I'm going to do some glue on this line. Again over here, and we're going to place it down, and we're going to squeeze them on top of each other, and this way. And this is already one of the 3 we need for our back side of our closet. So I'm going to make the other 2 a little bit faster. So now I also have my 3 pieces of the back side, and these were 3 pieces of 18 blocks, rows of 9, 2 together, and there I have 3 from. I showed you in a moment. Now we're going to do the side of our closet, and that will be 7 blocks long and 5 wide. So I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm just going to do very easy, just 5 blocks, and this way. This is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I'm going to squeeze them together, and this way, and I'm going to make 7 of it, and this will be one side of our closet, and this will squeeze and press it down. So, and again we just take 5 blocks and we're going to glue them together, and this is number 2 and number 3 and number 4, and again squeeze them and place them in one straight line again, and this way, and this will, you see already this one is here a little bit offline. You can also see it in the middle, he's a little bit standing out. The other side is straight, but I think they're cutting it a little bit sideways. I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's the machine that's working this way. So, but we will see. I'm going to try to work with it. I'm going to clean up my space, and I'm going to again do 5 blocks again, but I'm going to do this a little bit faster. And you see here I have my 7 pieces, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn them all sideways this way, and I'm going to glue them together. So very easy, just make a straight line on this one, and we're going to place it down. Oh, you see already he's still a little bit wobbly, so be careful because you still can readjust it. So we're going to start with this one, and this one is also not in the mood. So be careful how you do it. Sometimes you want a little bit too fast, but you can still readjust this, don't worry. You just squeeze it in again and everything will work out very fine. And I'm going to go for this one, and we have already a number 3. We're going to place it down, squeeze it, press it together. We're going to get for this one, and again, and so we get a nice side of 7 blocks. This is already number 4, and this way. And of course make sure that you have a straight line on each side as well as you can do it, of course. And again, and now we have with the last 2, we need to be a little bit careful because they are still not totally dried in yet. Sometimes it takes a little bit more of your time, but of course when you squeeze, you see already it's still is a little bit wobbly. Go it on the side, do some, if you work a lot with the blocks, at the time you will get very used to it, and you know exactly when you can glue them together or not. So this is already number 6. Squeeze it, and again make sure that everything stays in place. And now we only need the last one, and I need to get out a little bit more to the to this side. And of course you see already my placemat is going all the way but not the way I want to have it, so this way. And I'm going to, you see already, and I'm also going to show you this because you are also probably will have the same way if you are a little bit just impatient like I am. So again, squeeze them, place it down and squeeze them together. And this way we're going to let it dry, and I'm going to make the second one of 7 rows. I have here all my pieces for the outside of the closet. So the side pieces, I have here 4 pieces of my shelves and bottom and top. And I have here 3 pieces for the back side of the closet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay these 2 apart over here, because I'm going to start with the back side, our 3 pieces. And what I'm going to do, because we need to glue them together, we have 4 of the middle pieces and two of the end pieces like this, and this one will be inside of here, and then glue this one together, and then inside here, and then glue the other one together. So I'm going to get my other placemat, and I'm going to make my placemat a little bit longer, or else I'm gluing my whole table under it. So like this. I'm going to close it up. So I'm going to start over here with this one. So very easy. I'm going to get my wood glue, and I'm going to, and if you want to start in a different way, it doesn't matter, do whatever you think is right. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to make a little line with glue on this side over here. I'm going to glue, and I'm going to place it until here and make a nice straight line. I'm going to get from this one, I'm going to do some glue on this side and on the other side, of course. So over here, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'll do some glue on this side, and I'm going to place it in like this, and I'm going to place this one against it, and this way squeeze it and press it down. And now we're going to do for this one again some glue on the underside over here, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do it on this side. And again, make sure that you have try a straight line. I always have difficulty to make a straight line, and this way, and closing it up with this one over here, and make sure that you have a nice back side. Of course, I have to squeeze it on the underside a little like this. And now we only need the last piece, and the last we are going to do some glue only on this side, because this is the closure up again. So just do some glue, and I'm going to place it on the ending over here, and again squeeze it, and we're going to let this dry for at least a couple of hours. So our backside and our shelves bottom and top are drying, but I was thinking, and I'm going to change it up a little bit, because I think for me the shelves and of course the bottom and the top are a little bit the inside is a little bit too short. So I'm going to take 3 blocks. It is very easy, but if you do it after me, you can not do 4 of this one, but make rows of 5. That's better. Then you have a little bit more input for what you can do on your shelf, because it's always nice to decorate the shelves. So I always say then you can have better have more space than too little of too less. So I'm going to do 4 pieces, because we have a bottom, a top, and 2 middle shelves. So I'm going to need 4 pieces of 3 like this one, and I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to glue them on top of here. Very easy. So you just make an extra line over it, but you can better do it in the first time. So not do it the way that I did it afterwards, but you can better do it the first time around already. So I'm going to do the last one, and then we can let it dry in for a couple of minutes, and then we're going, oh, this one is totally straight out. I don't know if you can see it, but this block is really bad. So I'm going to go for this one, and I must say, because these are blocks which are already a little bit old, so the newer blocks are much better than this series, how you call it, but the newer blocks are better. So I'm going to, but I have to make up all for my old blocks. I have all 4 pieces. I let this dry, and then we're going to glue it on top. I'm going to do one together with you. So I'm going to do 1 layer of my glue over here, and I'm going to place this one on top. Very easy. Just make a nice straight line, and this way And we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. So you see, I placed them on the side. What I'm going to do, because we're going to place our bottoms, I'm going to do some glue on the lines over each and every block. And this way, try to make a very thin line. At least I'm going to try. Most of the time it doesn't work, but I'm doing my best. So I'm going to do it for this way, and I'm going to go over this way and over here. And now I'm going to place my first side piece on top of here. Of course, I have to look if I have the right line, and I think I'm going for this one. So I'm going to go and I'm going to lay it over here, on here, and this way, and just let it fall down. And I have the top, I have straight, and I have under a little bit over. That means I have some feet on the underside of our dresser. So for this way, and I'm going to let this dry also. And this way. And you see, I did some paint cans on top of the side because I gives a little bit more of pressure to dry it in. And then we're going to, if it's dried up, we're going to turn it around and do the other side. And now he is dried in. At least I hope he is dry in, or else he will be falling apart. So we will see how this will turn out. Of course, I'm going to lay it this way, and I'm going to move over to the other side, and I'm going to place it on this side. And again, what I'm going to do, the same with the other one. I'm going over and make a nice small line again with my glue. And I'm just going to run along all the pieces we need to glue. And you see already, I'm gluing already out of the box. And of course, I need enough glue and not too much, but it has to glue very steady on top of here, because we don't want that our bookshelves, you could also use it for little books or little things inside. You could use it for anything and for any season. I think I'm going to go over it and I wipe away the glue. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place this one, of course, on top, and I'm going to do this one again in a straight line, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to make sure that the back side is in a straight line and the top has to be in a straight line, and this way and this way. And now I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, but of course also I'm going to place my paint cans on top of here again, the same like I did with my other piece. And I'm going to let this dry. So in the meantime, our little book shelves, closet, just do call it whatever you think it's right. Of course, here in the Netherlands we call it een boekenkast, een boekenkast. That means it's a place where you can place your books in. An open boekenkast, that means an open bookshelves in Dutch. So of course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make 3 little drawers, because I also want to have 3 drawers on each, on every shelf, so I can do some greenery inside of here, or maybe some beads coming out. So I'm going to make 3 drawers. And I'm going to use also the piece with the brand on top, so you still can use them because they will be on the underside. So I'm going to glue 3 of them together this way. And this is already the bottom. And of course, later we're going to turn it over. This is already one. Then we're going to, I use this for the other drawer. I'm going to use 4 blocks. And I'm going to make a set of 2 of 4. And this is number 3, and I use the 4 as a closure up, the same like we do more. And this is already 1. Again, another set of 4. And this is 1, and number 2, and number 3. And again, close them up. And this way, squeeze it, press it down. And also this one, press it down. And you see, it's a little bit too much glue, and I always try to get it away as fast as you can, like this, and then make a straight line again, because you still can redo it. We're going to do 2 of 3, and then we have our little drawer, and this one, and again the third one will be the closure up, and again squeeze it, press it down, and the last one, and then we only need to glue it together, but we give it a couple of minutes rest. And this is already drawer number 1 in totally. You only need 5 pieces. So I have my 5 pieces. I'm going to turn this one over because we want to have it on the underside and not on the top side. And maybe you also can do, maybe it's also a better idea if you do it on the inside and you can color it up, and then it's also disappeared. So maybe I'm going for this one. I'm going to do some glue on this one, and I'm going to do them on the sides, over here and over here, and I'm going to place it against this one. I'm going to do here the same, some glue on this side and on the top sides. And I looked it up. It is, of course, you call it a bookcase. I thought I couldn't come up with a name, but it is a bookcase. So I'm going to place this one and this one over here. And now we have a nice little drawer for in our little bookcase, and we can use it as a planter. You can use it for, like I said, for some beads coming out, little Christmas balls, some little Christmas trees. We will see what we will come up with. I'm going to make the other 2 dresses of drawers, and you see our 3 drawers are already in each other. What we're going to do later, of course, we're going to give a little knob on the front, but we are going to let this dry in because I want to be sure that everything is dried up. What I'm going to do right now, you are now getting the measurements for the bookcase, or I don't going to say, you can call it anyway because you already know that. So at least I looked it up. I think it looks more a little bit like a bookcase, so we leave it to that. I'm going to give you the measurement for the smaller blocks. So we're going for the smaller blocks first for the back side. So if you want to write it down for the back side, you see this 3 panels will be 12 blocks, and it will be 3 high. So 12 and then 3 times, and here 3 times of 12. So you have here 12 pieces, double up, 12 pieces, double up, and 12 pieces, double up here. Then we're going to do, of course, the shelves in between, like the bottom, the top, and of course the middle pieces. This one is not the side, only the pieces in between. It is 4 blocks, and it is high 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he is high like the side. I showed you a little bit better because you don't see it in camera. I'm sorry if I am placing you down. This high, you see here, I have him over here. He is high 7 blocks, and you have to 4 blocks wide for your shelves, bottom and top. It will be 4 pieces, and you need 7 high, and you need 4 pieces of 7 high next to each other. That will be 1 piece, and you need 4 of them like this. So you have the back side, you have the sides of the top, you have the tops, the shelves, and the back side. Now we're going to do the sides, but you see already the side is also just as high as you have the side, is also 7 high, and they are, I'm going to count right now, they are needed from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would go for 10, and then he's a little bit longer, but I should go for 10. So he's 10 long and he's 7 high. So you need, I don't know, I hope I can explain it right. So, but of course, lay it down before you glue it, lay it down on your table, then you can see exactly what I mean. So 7 high, and you need 7. This also will be 7 high up, and then you have a side, and you need 2 of them. And then you have already the whole bookcase. So I hope I explained it right. So, and now we go further with the drawers. And for making your drawers, I think I would go for 4 blocks, make 4 times 4. If you glue them together, then you can glue this one in a square. You do glue this one against this block, this one next to it, against it, and again also over here. And then you get a nice square. For the bottom, I will do it differently because you never get the measurement. You can use a piece, measure this out and do a piece of cardboard and glue this on top. Then you have a flat bottom. But if you don't mind and you like a little bit different, yeah, you can glue 5 times 2 blocks to each other. So this is 5 and then again another 5 and then place the block on top, and then you have a little bit like an overlay over here. And I think it's also very nice because it's different than the normal drawers, and then you can make it a little bit with your own twist on it. So go ahead and maybe you can let me know how yours turned out. And here you see our frame, of course, of our bookcase. I call it now a bookcase. What I'm going to do, and it even looks like, if you see it correctly, my son was saying he also looks a little bit like the IKEA bookcase of the Billy, which is of course bigger, but he really looks the same like the IKEA bookcase. So maybe it's just a little version out of it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my felt, and I'm going to cut pieces that I can have under the feet, because he is a little bit longer, the side panels, and then you get nice feet already, so that you don't have to make your own feet. So I'm going to cut off a couple of the round to make smaller pieces for under here. So now we have our bookcase, our 3 drawers, and I'm going to paint all of them now first with my color of sand color. But of course, choose any color you like. Maybe you like a black one or a totally white one. Maybe you want to stain it. Go ahead. But if you I can give you a tip, if you want to stain it, just get your sander or maybe sandpaper. Doesn't matter. But go over it a couple of times to make sure that all the glue from your wood glue is gone, because or else you get almost kind of spots everywhere. So you don't want to mess up your piece. So if you want to stain it, just go over with some sanding paper and sand off a little layer of your dresser, because or else you get really nice, really awful spots from your glue on it. So you don't want to have that. So I'm going to paint it. And you see already everything is painted and dried up. I'm going to start with my little drawers. I have here some sticker etiquettes, so you can do some words on top of here, but I'm going to choose for some wooden numbers. So I have here my bags with my wooden numbers, and I'm going to choose for the 0 and the 1, the 0 and the 2, and the 0 and the 3. So I'm going to lay my pieces on the side, but on the side with the 4 blocks in a row. So not this 3 blocks and half, but for the 4 blocks in a row. And for this one, of course, I'm going to look which one I like the best. And I'm going to, for this one, I think I'm going to, no, I don't choose. I'm going to go for this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some etiquette, and it is from kind of stickers. So I'm going to place them in the middle. At least I'm going to try to place it in the middle, and this way, and I'm going to make it a little bit warmer with my fingers, and I hope that he will stick in place. And if you want to make sure that he doesn't, when you have it in the spot, the dresser or the bookcase, where you can have some water, then of course I will recommend do some Mod Podge over it before you glue the letters. But I not have them on that space, so I'm going to place them next to each other, because I want to have them a little bit on the same height. And this way, I think I'm going to, I think he needs a little more to the right. And of course, this is a little bit of a task, but just take your time for it. And I know sometimes it's difficult to wait for me because I take sometimes a little bit longer. And now I have to get the last one. And then we're going to are ready to place the number on top. I have to think I have a little bit lower. And maybe like this. So now I have, you see here, the wooden 0, and I'm going to do here the 0 and the 1, of course. And I'm going to do here the 0 and the 2. And I leave them in the this color, in the just the wood color. But if you don't like it, maybe you can do with some marker. You can make it gold, you can make it black. Do anything you like. But I'm going to go for this, and I'm going to glue them with my glue gun on top. So I was seeing my little drawers, and of course I'm going to do also a little piece of felt on the underkant of the drawers, because then they slide a little bit better inside of our case. So I'm just do little pieces. You don't have to do a lot, it's only a couple of pieces. And here you see how our little bookcase turned out. Of course, I'm really happy with the result. Of course, I'm going to decorate it in a moment. So I placed you a little bit lower on my table. The first thing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some drawer, and I'm going to do some pieces of greenery, and I have 3 pieces I'm going to do inside. I'm going to do this way, but you can also do it for the fall season. If you want to make it already right now and you want to do it for the fall season, it's also fine too. And I'm going to lay this one this way. I'm going to get one of these branches, and this is just a simple branch. Just take whatever you have laying around. I'm going to place this one on the side, and I'm going to try to let it come over the side of our little drawer. I'm going to use a little piece of my berries, and of course it is from a garland. I always buy a garland and cut it up in pieces, because that's much cheaper than you will do loose pieces. I'm going to do also one over here like this, and I'm going to get a little of my greenery, the loose little yeah, it's also kind of a berries, and I'm going to lay it on top, because or else you don't have a nice side when you're going to look inside of your drawers. And I'm going to place this one, of course, in the corner over here. I'm going to do all the other 3, but I won't bore you with that. I have all the drawers with my, of course, with my greenery inside. What I'm going to do right now, you see already on my table, I found this already a while ago in a thrift store, and I have a couple of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep my case very easy. I'm going to get some piece of my greenery, and always also use a 1 pick, and I'm going to lay it in the corner like this, and I'm going to lay it in the other corner the way you can see it, because probably you can see it like this. And I'm going to place one in this corner, and we're going to do a one on the top like this, and I'm going to place also this one in this corner, and I'm going to get one of them, place them this way, and I'm going to look for, I think the thicker one I'm going to do in this side. I'm going to place it in the corner with the greenery, and I'm going to do it with this one the same, and just place it in the corner. So I'm going to keep it very simple and neutral, but you can go all the way, because I always love to show you only an impression. So, and then I'm going to get some greenery pieces. I'm just rip them off this way, and I'm going to lay it in front, and I'm going to have here another one. I'm going to lay it in front over here, and I'm going to do here the same with a couple of them also over here, and another one over here. So I'm going to close it in, and I have a little room over here. And now I have even some little pieces of berry, and you also can go all the way, squeeze it under it, and it gives also a nice little red pop over here. So just very easy, squeeze it inside, and I'm going to do it over here. And now for me, my dresser is of my bookcase is already finished. Of course, what I'm going to do probably with the Christmas season, I have some little Bibles. And here in the Netherlands, it's almost called the same. We call it Bijbel. So it's a little bit more like the I, Bible, but you call it Bible. So it's a little bit different, but almost the same. So, and I have smaller ones, and I can place them on the sides over here, and of course over here, but that will be later. But for now, this is just an impression, and in a moment you see a quick impression on my table in totally. And here you see a little quick impression of our bookcase, and I'm so happy how it turned out. Of course, it was in the start a little bit of a struggle how I want to have it, but at the end I'm so happy how it turned out, especially with the little drawers. Of course, I'm so happy also for you who has the smaller blocks, so I hope you can get out of my measurements. So I really hope you can make one of your own, and if you have questions, just leave them down below, because I would love to answer them if you have questions. So for now, of course, I hope you all have an amazing day, and everyone who is here and likes what he sees, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Like I said earlier, it would help my channel a lot to grow, and it doesn't cost you anything. So enough talking. I wish you all an amazing day again, and I see you next time. Bye.